The moment you venture out, something takes place in you and about you. Life comes to your aid in various ways. You may not like the form in which it comes to you. It may be misery, struggle, starvation. But when you invite life, things begin to happen. Quote by Krishnamurti. So hello and welcome to my first, van life vlog. I've actually been out there already in my first couple of months in my van, and I've got a little bit of footage and a few things to impart to you about my first phase. I've actually been back a few times to do a few upgrades on the van. What that time out there actually afforded me was to check a few things, a few systems, pressurize the water tank, a few things about the electrical and the battery bank. But you know what? I'm kind of sick of talking about van building at this point. If you see here, there's just so much stuff on van building, which I did it as a giving. I wanted to be able to help you if you're in a van build phase. But for me, it's a real delight to be in this phase of van life, getting used to my van, being in the van, working in the van, meditating in the van, traveling in the van, encountering new people in the van, all that kind of cool stuff. So this is what this is about. So welcome. If you ever have any questions for me or any comments, please pop them below in the comments box. And while you're here, subscribe. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and hopefully I can provide some beautiful van life videography and photography for you moving forward. Here's a little van build pre-reveal that I thought I'd do whilst I was boondocking in the Lassen National Forest. Such a gorgeous place I found to camp for the night amongst the trees. So here she is, Whitefeather, my van, all finished up on my very first real trip, having packed up my stuff and put it in storage and hit the road full time. As you can see, the kitchen area here, a little bit as I'm looking back toward, the dinette that's been put down into the bed platform formation, and just this beautiful view out the back where I'm parked the night, the skylight, my upper windows and fan, which I've definitely been using, and then that's my Berkey water filter and the sink and the kitchen area. This is the other side of the kitchen area. Yeah, just seeing some of the details that I've put into the build to make it feel really warm and homey. So I have just been boondocking, it's called, on some BLM land in the Lassen National Forest, and just such a rich, deep, quiet night's sleep. And I've got a few hours here before I have a meeting. I found this spot that's dead silent but has 3 bars of cell phone connection, so I can have a meeting at 11 this morning, and then I'm going to head up into the park and meet a friend. Loving it so far. This is one of my favorite smoothies. Yumbo! As I venture out in Whitefeather, my van, for this first phase, I find myself going to places that I already know. There's a comfort in what we know, but what is comfortable may not be what affords us inner awakening. It doesn't stretch us outside the boundaries of who we think we are, nor touch on our infinite inner nature. These places I love, Mount Shasta and Mount Lassen, I've visited many times before. So this time I'm stretching my experience of these areas as I park the van in new spots and experience different parts of these mountains and parks. I find that I experience a lot of peace when I'm parked alone deep inside a high mountain forest. I sleep like a baby, like nowhere else on earth. So much holding by the trees and the land and the mountains. My meditations are quiet and deep. Being alone is such a great way to know yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's nothing and no one to blame for your mood, your reactions, or your inner environment. You have to face yourself, own it all. How can we be with others if we can't be with ourselves, right? Compassion is often the key. Life happens. Things don't always go as planned. That being said, I've never seen this venture as a solo one. It may be right now, but I know that White Feather is putting me on the path of love, whatever that may mean. Inner love, new friends, or a life partner, or all of the above. I'm pretty good now about knowing when I need my friends. At those times, I'll reach out and talk, do a practice, or go and spend time with them. My friends are my family. They know me better than I know myself. As always, I tend to meet great people when I travel. They're always so kind and helpful and warm. The kindness of strangers I experience on a daily basis out here in my van. I know I may never meet some of them again, but this breath of humanity experience when we share a common experience. That is seriously wonderful and seriously cold. I know this lake, it's called Helen Lake in Mount Lassen. Ooh, so lovely. So this is really my first van life vlog post, and yeah, I'm finally sinking into it. I was so exhausted having just finished the van build and packed and moved out of the place where I was doing the van build. And I'm just getting into a groove here as to how to live here in the van, how to find places to park. So far, it's only a week in, but so far I haven't paid for camping yet, and I'm literally in the most beautiful places. It's just been so fun working that out, and working around my tiny home, my tiny kitchen. It's actually not that tiny. This is actually bigger than the kitchen I had in New York, so I did that by design. Wanted to make sure it was nice and big. And just did forest yoga this morning and meditated in the forest, and that was in my van, but I meditated. And today I am in Lassen National Park. I'm going to go to Helen Lake, which is a glacial, incredible lake. I'll show you some images of that. And then I'm going to head up and meet a dear friend in Summit Lake, which is up and over past the Lassen Peak and into a beautiful area with a lot of lakes. However, they did all get burnt very badly by the Dixie Fire last year. So we're going to see where I can hike, what I can do up here. So I don't know exactly where this journey is taking me, this era of minimizing and traveling around in my van. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying some of America's most incredible natural beauty. In these parts of America, in Mount Shasta and Lassen, there's these incredible lakes that are so pristine. Some of them are glacial lakes. Just the colour is pretty indescribable. And when you immerse yourself in its frigid waters, boy, it's just so awakening and refreshing. in the Mount Lassen area, and I'm in Lake Almanor, and I've got a bit of a unwritten rule, which is when my fuel reaches a quarter of a tank that I fill it. So I'm here to fill up my fuel, and then I might find a spot to hang out for the evening and do a bit of work, do a bit of video work. I'll leave you with this quote from Yogananda. If you want to be sad, no one in the world can make you happy. But if you make up your mind to be happy, no one and nothing on earth can take that happiness from you.